Never waste a good crisis. And when it comes to the economic crisis, don't waste it when it can have a very positive impact.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
The way we're going to win over the long term is not just militarily. We've got to win over hearts and minds. And what that means is we've got to invest in countries that have no educational infrastructure, have no means for young people to get ahead. We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
Stay tuned for politics and religion.
Well, this story comes to us out of the blue. Russia vows quick completion of Iran's Bashir atomic reactor. Just when we thought that the clamps were getting ready to be tightened down on Iran, hear this announcement. Russia's energy minister pledged Sunday to accelerate completion of a nuclear power station in Iran just 2 weeks after announcing the latest delay, Reuters reported. His comment comes following talks with Iranian oil minister Masoud Merkazemi, and the same day as Iran's government announced plans to build 10 new uranium enrichment plants. 10 new uranium enrichment plants in a major expansion of its disputed nuclear program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been following this story, you know that this is a long-running saga. Continually, Iran promises that it will toe the line, and then it backs up, and then the world community threatens, and then the UN passes another resolution, which is then ignored, and on and on. This has gone for quite a number of years. All of it attempting to bluff Iran into not enriching uranium. Iran replies, we have signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and according to that treaty, we have every right in the world to peaceful means, peaceful use of nuclear power. Consequently, the cat and mouse game has gone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. However, it seems like it's moving into another phase now. Now, in the background of all this is the biblical prophecy that a war is coming from this part of the world. Will it be ignited from Iran? Will it be ignited from someplace else? I can't tell you for sure. However, we do know a war is coming from the area of the Euphrates River. Now, the Euphrates River is about 60% contained in Iraq. It's within 25 or 30 miles of the border of Iran. Also, it goes into Syria and on up into Turkey. So we have this prophecy. It will come to pass, period. We also have 130,000 U.S. troops stationed up and down the Euphrates River in the nation of Iraq right now. But we have this ongoing conflict with Iran. Israel sees Iran as an existential threat. Israel says we simply cannot allow Iran to become a nuclear power, to possess nuclear weapons. The United States says we will not allow Iran to possess nuclear weapons, but Israel's a lot more serious about it than we are because, well, it's their existence that is at stake. Now, all of a sudden, with the announcement that the Bashir atomic plant will be completed within the next couple of weeks. Now, beyond that, though, we have this new announcement that Iran's government is going to build 10 new uranium enrichment plants. Wow. You mean after all of this, while the threat of sanctions hangs over Iran because of this secret enrichment plant that they have not told anybody about for 7 or 8 years, and now it's like Iran says, look, we don't listen to a thing you guys say, and we don't care what you say. We're going to do what we want to do because we think you're a paper tiger. Okay, put yourself in Israel's shoes. What are you going to do? What are your choices? You can accept the status quo. You can sit by like a deer staring in headlights. until Iran builds a nuclear weapon, at which time you go to bed every night not knowing if the state of Israel will exist the next morning. Or you can continue to trust in the international community, foolishly, obviously, because they've not delivered to this point. Or else you can ready an attack that will take out the nuclear capability of Iran for the next several years. So you're sitting there, you're thinking, you're wondering. Or perhaps you can discuss with the U.S., look, isn't it time for the U.S. to play its true role as a world superpower? Maybe you're the one that should come in and solve this problem. Well, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we do know one thing. There's a war coming. It's going to be the worst war the world's ever seen. It's going to come from this part of the world. That's the reason this story is so absolutely critical. And what do we have to do? Number one, be ready. Number one.